You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Friday the 13th of March, 2026. It is 82 days after the winter solstice. It is 7 days before the spring equinox. Today is the 14th day of the American and Israeli war against Iran and Lebanon. The sun rises today at 7:10 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 1:05 p.m. The sun sets today at 7 p.m., civil twilight ends at 7:28 p.m., and nautical twilight ends at 7:59 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes 42 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waning crescent phase and is 29% full at midday. The moon rises today at 4:20 a.m., and then it sets at 1:13 p.m. The new moon will arrive on Wednesday, the 18th of March. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the morning, high tide, 6:12 a.m., 1 meter 16. In the afternoon, low tide, 12:36 p.m., 12 centimeters. In the evening, high tide, 6:49 p.m., 1 meter 1. In our shared realm of plants and animals, with the leaves yet to emerge on the trees, the structure of their boughs is still readily visible. On 31st Drive, just west of 21st Street, the two saw-toothed oaks have a particularly lovely architecture. A straight trunk holds boughs that are perfectly symmetrical. The lowest branches emerge almost parallel to the ground, while their tips arc gently upward. As you look at the branches above, you see that the higher they get, the more they emerge pointing upwards. So the whole pattern of the branches makes a round ball that has a fine point at the top. What a contrast to the elms and ashes that extend long, limber arms across the streets, bent this way and that, delightfully asymmetrical and almost muscular. Commemorations. Annals of Colonialism. On this day in 1697, Noi Petén, the capital of the last independent Maya kingdom, fell to the Spanish, and the Spanish conquest of Guatemala was complete. Annals of Decolonization. On this day in 1954, the Battle of Dien Bien Phu began in Vietnam. The Viet Minh forces would defeat the French colonial army, bringing the First Indochina War to a close. The French would abandon their claim to Indochina and withdraw from Vietnam. Just 10 years later, the United States would be embroiled in our own Vietnam War. An anniversary to ponder. On this day in 1964, Kitty Genovese was murdered in Kew Gardens, Queens. She was returning late at night from her job as a bartender. A man attacked her, stabbing her to death. According to news reports at the time, as many as 38 people heard her cries for help, but no one intervened. Genovese's murder led to a sustained conversation about the increasingly dangerous urban environment of the period, and to what became called the bystander effect, the tendency in a crowd for no one to step forward and do the right thing. It later transpired that few of Genovese's neighbors were actually aware of what was happening. On this day in 1991, the documentary film Paris is Burning had its premiere at the Film Forum in New York. The film chronicles the underground ballroom scene, involving drag performances by Black, Latino, gay, and transgender communities. The film is a snapshot of New York during the AIDS crisis and the vibrant subcultures that were once such a crucial part of the life of the city. And it explores the way drag is used as a performance of gender roles, a space of aspiration and exploration. On this day in 2003, an article in the scientific journal Nature identified fossilized footprints in Campania, Italy, as belonging to early humans. 350,000 years ago, a group of hominids walking upright walked across deposits left by a volcano. The footprints were preserved by a subsequent layer of ash from that same volcano. When the footprints were identified, they were the oldest human footprints found outside of Africa. Today we remember Yorgos Seferis, born this day in 1900. Seferis was a diplomat and one of the great Greek poets of the 20th century. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature. He once said, "Don't ask me who's influenced me. A lion is made up of all the lambs he's digested, and I've been reading all my life." His funeral in Athens in 1971 attracted huge crowds, not only for his poetry, but because he was so clear in his opposition to the military junta that ruled Greece at the time. Remember Yorgos Seferis today. And that is the Observatory, Friday the 13th of March, 2026.